Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Sashi Anand, and I'm the Vice President of Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education, or Kalasalingam University. It's a deemed university located near the city of Madurai in Tamil Nadu. The institution was founded in the year 1984, and it became a deemed university in the year 2006. I am currently the Vice President of the institution. A bit about myself: I finished my undergraduate in Computer Science and Engineering from National University of Singapore, PhD in Computer Science from University of Florida, and since 2015, I have been associated with Kalasalingam University, and I'm striving to take the university to the next level in terms of quality and outlook.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time today. So moving on to the first question, you've held key positions at educational institutes throughout a significant part of your professional career. So what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
Okay, so first and foremost, teaching is my passion. Even though I am mostly involved in educational administration, right now at Kalasalingam University, every semester I make it a point to take a class for the students myself. And I always believe that students are the key beneficiaries and the key stakeholders for any educational institution. Interacting with them on a constant basis helps me understand their needs, their interest, and what their goals are, and helps me focus that in order to make up the strategic plan for the institution as a whole. So right from my undergraduate, like from 2005 all the way till 2020, for almost 15 years, I've been involved in teaching, learning, and students are a part and parcel of my life. So constant interaction with students and also with fellow academicians helps me improve the quality of teaching, learning practices being imparted at our university.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. So, sir, being the Vice President of Kalasalingam University, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
Sure. So if you look at the management of Kalasalingam University, all of us are doctorates or medical doctors. So we believe the value of education and believe that education is really, really important. Let me tell a quote which my grandfather, Mr. T. Kalasalingam, who's the founder of the institution, used to tell to us when we were very young. And till his death, he used to share this quote with all the stakeholders, be it the faculty members or the students. So he believed that it was based off a Chinese proverb. If you want to make a person happy for one day, you give them food. If you want to make the person happy for a year, you teach them how to grow their own food. And if you want to make a person happy lifelong, you teach them the value of education. Hailing from a very remote district in Tamil Nadu, the Virudhunagar district, it is still one of the most backward districts in the country. He believed that education was the only way to improve the quality of life for a family. And it was with this vision that he founded Kalasalingam College of Engineering in 1984. So the value of education was inculcated in the family and in the district for almost 35 years. So with this philosophy, we still work and we ensure that most of our students are educated. And even if you look at the current scenario, close to about 40% of our students are first graduates. They are the first in their family to pursue tertiary education. So we believe that education is paramount. So it is with this philosophy that we have a high regard to all academicians. And my style of leadership is I look at academicians as colleagues rather than professors or any other administrative post. And it is the collective responsibility of academicians, which is the teaching fraternity, all the professors, everyone together in order to improve the quality of education being imparted there, which would in turn improve the quality of life for the people for all our students and their families as well.
Yes, well said, sir. So how does the curriculum of Kalasalingam University ensure the best practice of industry?
Sure. So our mission of Kalasalingam University is to produce technically competent and socially committed technocrats. First and foremost, in terms of the education being imparted, we try to ensure the involvement of industry as much as possible, because Let us be frank, close to about 90% of our students upon graduation, they want to secure a job in the industry. So when the industry is such a key stakeholder in the lives of our graduates, we make it a point to ensure the industry is involved in each and every phase of planning the curriculum and the syllabus. So right from the Board of Studies to the academic council to every major authority within the institution has a person from industry participating in it. And to add on to it, right now, for the past 2 years, we have also tied up with companies such as IBM, SAP, Siemens, and many such to offer joint degree programs. Let me give an example. For example, our Bachelor of Technology, BTech Computer Science and Engineering program is offered in collaboration with IBM. By collaboration, I mean that the entire syllabus of the program is designed by IBM, and every semester, one course in a semester, normally students study about 4 to 5 courses. So one course is taught by people from IBM. So it could be like IBM trainer or any IBM certified faculty member. They come, they stay on campus, and they teach the entire course. And it is a very interesting aspect because they teach from a very implementation point of view, a practical point of view, how the theory which we learn inside the campus is being applied in the industry. So every semester it is being done, and throughout the program, throughout the 4 years of the engineering degree in collaboration with IBM, there are many such internships, activities, guest lectures, seminars, workshops, industrial visits, everything from an industry point of view to help students gain an introduction of how the industry functions, what the industry's expectations are, and prepare themselves accordingly for that. So that is one thing which we strongly believe in. So have the industry involved in our academic curriculum and framework as closely as possible. So similarly to IBM for computer science and engineering, Siemens is our partner for mechanical engineering. We are in talks with L&T for civil engineering. For electronics and communication engineering, there's a company based out of Bangalore called Nanochip Solutions for the training partners for Xenopsys Solutions. So like this, our aim is in about 5 years, each and every program in the institution should be aligned with industry and offered in conjunction with industry. So that was the first part when I was talking about technically competent. Second part, when I talked about socially committed technocrats. For this, we have a unique program, a 1-year program for all our students called a community service project. So as I mentioned previously, we belong in one of the most backward districts of the country. And there, as part of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan scheme of AICTE, we have adopted close to about 25 villages nearby in our nearby surroundings. So as part of this year-long, it's a 1-year community service project, and the teams are formed with the students from multiple disciplines. So they might be one computer science engineer, one electronics engineer, one person from an arts background, one person from a commerce background. So like that, multidisciplinary teams are formed, and students have to go to their society, go to the villages, find out a problem, develop a solution, and develop a proof of concept by the end of the year and implement it also. So by this way, we introduce the concept of design thinking to the students, wherein they are going to the society and they have to identify a problem. It's an open-ended question, right? So they have to go and identify a problem by themselves and work on developing a solution for that. So that is part of it. Apart from developing the design thinking skills of the students, we also ensure that they understand the value of social commitment and their responsibility to society as well. So these are two unique activities which we are doing at Kalasalingam University.
Yes, sir. Yes, that is very descriptive. I'm sure the students have a better idea of what those are now. Sir, you had touched on this earlier also about the high number of first graduates that come to Kalasalingam University. So Can you just provide us any insights into how your university is able to be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds?
Definitely. So our university, if you look at it, is a multicultural institution wherein you have students from all different types of backgrounds, all different types of races across the university as well. So in order to encourage not only first graduates, but also people from different economic backgrounds to undergo the tertiary education, we had instituted the scholarships, the Kalasalingam. It was named after our founder chairman, Mr. Kalasalingam. The Kalasalingam Anandamamal scholarships were instituted in the year 2015. And every year, based on the marks students receive in the entrance examination, also based on the qualifying examination, and also for first graduates, we offer a multitude of scholarships ranging from almost 50% of the tuition fees per annum. It goes up, so some of them also get 100% based on their GATE scores, or based on their JEE scores as well. So last year alone, 2019-20 alone, the scholarships which we doled out to our students were total to about 9.2 crores. So this is the amount of support the institution has towards benefiting all strata of the society.
Sure. That's a very noble cause, sir. So moving on, sir, what do you think your roles and responsibilities to the university and the students are?
Sure. So first of all, as a university, I would say our main, responsibility to students is ensuring that they get all-round development. Yes, academics is definitely one part. So we have to ensure students are gaining the necessary technical knowledge for the program which they come for. But we believe that, students this is the time when most of our students are residential, they are away from their parents, and this is the time for their all-round development. So apart from the regular technical activities, technical curriculum, we have a wide array of non-CGPA activities or non-CGPA courses. By non-CGPA, I mean that students have to take them during the 4 years or 3 years of their study, but it does not get calculated towards their final CGPA or final grade point average. So this includes a plethora of activities it could be foreign languages, it could be English certification, it could be soft skills and communication, it could be sports, NCC, NSS, such activities, technical certification, guest lectures, name it, and also club activities, club leadership activities, name it, students have to undergo during the 4 or 3 years of their program when they are undergoing at Kalasalingam University. So that is one of the reasons, when we believe the students constantly undergo, apart from their technical curriculum, they undergo all such all-round development. It helps, at the time of their placements in their final year, when they seek out jobs, and they present themselves as better candidates to the recruiters. As an evidence of this, I can also tell you that, for the past 3 years, right from 2017-18 all the way till 19-20, which we are doing right now, our placement percentage has consistently been over 90%. Almost 90% of our students get placed every year, and their packages are also, our median salary package is 3.4 lakhs per annum. So that has been our achievement. So in terms of strong teaching learning practices, student activities, and all-round development of students definitely help our students be better graduates and ready to face the industry when they pass out and enter the world.
Yes. So again on similar lines, so what, especially because of the times that we find ourselves in now, what do you think should be the university's top priority over the next 10 years?
Okay. So as an institution, over the top 10 years, over the next 10 years, as I was saying, my first priority is trying to ensure that our syllabus and what we impart at the institution is current and relevant to what is being expected in terms of the industry's requirements. So I understand this is always a debate, our industries are here to educate people and not to satisfy the recruiters. There's always a debate about that. But come what may, our stakeholders' satisfaction and feedback is of prime importance to us. So I believe that an industry should be as dynamic as, a university should be as dynamic as possible going forward. We should not stick to a very strict regimen or a strict regulation in terms of our curriculum and syllabus that we impart, stating this is what we would be doing. We would not change according to what the industry expects. So a very dynamic and flexible curriculum is what we need to ensure that we have in place at the university. first and foremost. Secondly, given the rapid pace at which the world is changing, like a couple of months ago, we were all in our campuses getting work done, and right now everyone is working from home. Did we even imagine that such a situation would happen in the education scenario? Not at all, but here we are and we are living with it, we have accepted it and we have moved on also. So that should be the quality in the faculty members and also in the students, wherein what I'm saying that we should make them adapt to situations as easily as possible. As long as our faculty members and our students are agile and they are able to adapt to any situations, learn it and stick to it and succeed at it as soon as possible, they will find success in the world, be it inside campus or outside campus. So that is the skill and quality which we need to inculcate in everybody inside the campus going forward as well. And finally, what I would also say is, given the current scenario, like we have all been experiencing COVID-19, the situation over here, we as technically strong as possible. We have had students like who are from a very low economic background who are struggling to get in access to electronic devices and usage of such facilities at an early stage, but right now they are getting accustomed to it. So my advice or my forecast for the future is there will be a blended learning approach. Apart from, I would not say 100% online learning approach. So there would be a blended learning approach wherein there will be a mix of both online as well as offline teaching learning practices. So as students, as faculty members, if we are able to adapt to online technologies, to newer technology as much as possible, that would help us in our own success as well.
Yes, sir. Yes. So moving on, so when you first joined Kalasalingam University, what was your vision for the university? How has it evolved over time, and how far along the implementation of the vision are you?
Sure. So I have been part of the institution ever since my birth, almost 30 plus years I've been part of the institution, but actively for the last 5 years. So even before my joining, the institution had its focus, the vision of the institution was always on social commitment and the quality of technology and the quality of teaching learning being imparted. So let me give an example, and that was this unique program for the speech and hearing impaired students, whereas the deaf and dumb students. In the year 2007, the moment we became a deemed university, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was then President of India, upon his advice, the Chancellor of the University, Mr. T. Kalasalingam, he started a program for the speech and hearing impaired students because they did not have an engineering program then. So right from 2007 till now, we have been successfully admitting 40 students into the program every year. And I can say with glee and with pleasure that all 40 of them get placed in reputed companies like Ernst & Young, Wipro, Capgemini every year. So that is the kind of impact and change which the university wanted to bring about in a person's life and ultimately a family's life. The social commitment with the location and with our target audience was always there and inculcated in the university. So some of my initiatives were the community service project, the adopting of nearby villages and such activities so that the students also understand the value, not only the institution and the leadership understand the value of social commitment, but also the students, each and every person who comes inside the institution feels the importance he or she should play in the role of upbringing the society. So that was one of my initiatives which I had taken, and I think it is going on in a good way. And I would like to see it going further as well. Secondly, as I mentioned, is in terms of quality of teaching learning, wherein having been educated abroad in Singapore and in the US and having had experiences with faculty and students from all across the world, my contribution, and I've also worked in industry for a while, that experience I was able to bring into Kalasalingam University to ensure and bring about a dynamism in terms of how our syllabus would be. So in terms of what the industry needs, have industry as closely aligned with us as possible, so that our students are benefited the most when they graduate and leave the institution and join the real world.
Yes, it's very nice to hear. Sir, so Like, so for people who might not be aware of Kalasalingam University, so what would you like them to know that they might not know otherwise?
Sure. So Kalasalingam University, as I said, is based near Madurai in Tamil Nadu. It's a 35-year-old institution, currently in the National Institutional Ranking Framework NARF 2019. We are 61 in terms of ranking. Our NAAC score, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, the NAAC score is A with the grade of CGPA of 3.11. All our eligible programs are accredited by National Board of Accreditation, NBA, and we have also undergone the international accreditation called ABET, Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. It's an organization based in the US, and they have accredited 11 of our undergraduate engineering programs. And our aim, Kalasalingam University, is delivering quality education to all levels of the society. So that reflects in the slogan which we have for the institution, world-class higher education at your reach. So we believe in delivering high-quality education at an affordable cost to all strata of the society. So as I mentioned, for our undergraduate programs, we have tied up with companies such as IBM, Siemens, SAP, and a lot more companies to offer an integrated program wherein every semester a person from the industry is on campus interacting with the students, giving you a feel of what the outside world is and how should you prepare as students in order to graduate successfully too. So Kalasalingam University, as I mentioned, offers a wide range of programs, right from engineering to liberal arts to science to agriculture, management, architecture, name it, we have it. So it was actually the motto of the founder that he wanted to have from pre-KG to PhD within the same campus, and that is what we have been working towards achieving his goal and his vision. So this institution, as I said, caters to all strata of the society, and right from the economic support, the financial support, a wide array of scholarships are also available. The information you can find on the website as well. And based on that, I'm sure as students of Kalasalingam University, our chancellor on the first day, which is the freshman induction program, on the first day when our parents and students come and join the university, our chancellor makes a promise to each and every parent that by the time in 3 years or 4 years, when your student goes out, they should leave with an offer, one or more offer letters in the hand, in his or her hand. That is the commitment which the university gives to all its stakeholders. Quality education, social commitment, graduating successfully with one or more offers in your hand.
Yeah. Yes. So for a university such as Kalasalingam with such a rich history, so what do you see as Kalasalingam University's greatest strengths?
Sure. So in terms of our strengths, I would say are our students first and foremost. Our main aim, because we know that, as I said, most of our students are residential. We have close to about 65 to 70% of our students staying on campus. We have about 7 hostels with a capacity of close to about 7,500. And students from all across the country, right from Jammu Kashmir all the way to Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and international students as well. So we have a multitude of students from different parts of the country and the world staying in the hostel, and we try to have a campus, have the cuisine, have all activities as diverse as possible. So our strengths being our students, we always try to ensure that they are benefited and they are happy. But happy does not mean that letting them free and pleasing them as much as possible. We want them to ensure that we are giving them the best possible education and best possible all-round development in order for their own self-development and for their own success when they graduate out of the campus. So as I said, our most important stakeholders are our students. Secondly, I believe the entire campus community, each and every one, right from the person at the gate all the way to the faculty member, each and every one plays an important role in improving the life of all our students here. So for that, the amount of participation which he or she gives in order for each and every student is also paramount. And our leadership is such a way that everyone, it's a participative leadership which we have, wherein everyone is involved in some or the other activities in terms of administration. And lastly, I would say is in terms of a community. As I said, we are in a rural area, We belong to one of the most backward districts. So the local community plays a huge part in how we are as a university. Our entire campus community and also the local community who are our main source, our main pillars of strength, which help the institution achieve its goal of being top notch in everything we do. And quality is our paramount. We look at whatever we do it with quality, do it with your full-most potential, and I'm sure success will automatically come. We need not go behind it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, I think we touched upon this earlier also. Because of the pandemic, every single industry has been affected. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for Kalasalingam University specifically?
Because of the current scenario, right?
Yes.
Sure. So first and foremost, I would say I see a big challenge is in terms of parents, students having the comfort level to move away from their hometown and go to institutions far away. Now, right now, as I had mentioned, close to about 70% of our students are from from other parts of the country, other parts of the state as well. And the feedback which we get as part of our admission processes right now is that parents are more comfortable and students are more comfortable staying at home and going to the attending institutions and rather than going and staying there. So wherein it could be a mix of both online and offline. So this is I guess one of the main challenges is in terms of ensuring the safety of our students when they are here at campus. And I can assure you that our service provider for this is this company called Sodexo, and they are a world-known organization. They operate all across the world, and they take care of our housekeeping and food services activities also. So we believe that safety, security, everything is of the top-notch quality when we dole out to our students as well. So firstly, I think the first challenge would be in terms of parents and students opting for institutions that are far away from their place of stay. Number one. Second thing also, I believe one of the challenges which I think might happen is in terms of the standard operating procedures inside a campus as well. Our institutions, our classes, our faculty, they are all designed with a certain student strength in mind currently. But given the new social distancing norms and other health norms which we might have to follow going forward, it might be a challenge on the planning and implementation and also the day-to-day activities of how things are being done inside the campus. So definitely these are two main challenges I see once we reopen, and even before reopening, what are the challenges which we could foresee in the future. But I would say this is not unique to us. This is this is common to the world over, and definitely us humans, we are great at finding solutions and finding shortcuts to ensure that our lives continues as much in a normal way as possible. So I'm sure Kalasalingam University would also be doing the same to ensure that we don't compromise on quality, and also we ensure a very safe and secure environment for our students and also for our prospective students in the future.
Yes. Yeah. So what are some plans that you're currently or will be designing for Kalasalingam University's International Affairs for Students?
I'm sorry?
I'll just repeat the question, sir. Sure. What are some plans that you're currently designing for Kalasalingam University's International Affairs for Students?
Sure. Yeah. So for our international students, in terms of there are a lot of plans being which we are in the pipeline, which is being in the pipeline. First and foremost is in terms of infrastructure. So we are in collaboration with the company called OYO, and we are building an international hostel. So wherein we want it to be as unique as possible, wherein each student gets his or her room. There's a common pantry with how a hostel in a foreign country would look like. A similar hostel is being built on the campus of Kalasalingam University, and it is expected to be ready by 2020 or late 2020 or early 2021. So we want to offer a quality of life to the students as much, so that when they don't miss their home as much. So that is first in terms of infrastructure. Second thing, in terms of teaching learning, apart from the regular regular technical and regular curriculum, What we offer for our regular students is also that we have yoga, meditation, culture, ethics, and because we feel that India, and especially the state of Tamil Nadu, the region itself is rich in terms of history, religion, and values. And these are something which we are offering to all of our students, and these are also designed with international students in mind. Currently, we offer close to about 30 such certificate programs spread over from as little as 1 week all the way till 3 months. And every summer, we have close to about 100 international students who come here and spend 1 week or spend up to 3 months over here. And they undergo a history course, or they undergo a yoga course, or such short-term programs. So in order to understand the richness of Indian heritage and Indian culture also. So these are something which would be offered for our regular international students when they come in as well. And lastly, what I would also say is, for the international students, is it is similar to any institution worldwide in terms of the quality of education being imparted at Kalasalingam University, be it in terms of the classes, in terms of our faculty, in terms of our student exchange programs where we have, in terms of projects, whatever the teaching learning process may be, and the entire life. We definitely want to ensure that the quality which we provide here is also world class.
Sure, sir. That's very good to hear, sir. So the last question, just to finish things up, any suggestions that you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
Yes. So always, advice is something which we like to give, but students don't like to hear. I tell this, but we still as a educationist, as an administrator, I have my responsibility to tell this to all the students. First and foremost, what I would like to tell the students is that it does not matter what you study, where you study. The institution is definitely going to be a part, but most importantly, you need to have 100% interest in what you do. Definitely, yes, only when you have the interest and you are working towards the goal, all the other factors, the institution, your faculty members, your friends, your other support systems would help you in order to achieve the goal. So first and foremost, ensure you have the interest and pursue a program in which you are really interested in. Secondly, as I said, in terms of choosing the right institution, choosing the right faculty members, look at an institution, the quality of the faculty members, its accreditation, what is the quality it offers, the kind of placement it offers. Look at all of that before you make a decision for choosing an institution in which you want to pursue your higher studies. And last but not the least, what I would like to say to the prospective students and the current students is that as long as you have the capability to learn new things in a fast way and adapt to it and succeed, you are destined for success. Right now, also, most of the, as I mentioned earlier, close to about 90% of our students get placed every year. One of the reasons why the recruiters come back into Kalasalingam University every year, this is the feedback which I get from all of them. Two reasons they always say. First thing is in terms of the longevity. Our students normally stick in a company for close to at least 3 years or more. That is a name which Kalasalingam University's alumni has given to the institution, I would say, number one. And second thing they always say that is our students tend to learn new things and adapt to it in a faster way. So as students, because the technology is changing, what you learned 3 years ago might not be relevant right now. Similarly, what you study in the first year of engineering might not be relevant by the time you graduate. So as long as you're willing to adapt to new technologies, learn new things, you're definitely destined for success. So be as agile, be as dynamic as possible, have a clear goal with interest. Definitely success is yours, and Kalasalingam University would be more than happy to be a part in order to achieve your goal and your success as well. Thank you.